Amarillorocks. This week we've got Ray Wilson with High Fidelity Records. What's the name of your band?
The band is Plan B.
Plan B. I've got a lot of questions about that.
Everybody does, so we can get into that.
Yeah. Well, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me bring the show here. So we're at High Fidelity Records. What's the address?
2818 Southwest 6th. We're right in between the 806 Coffee and Braceros.
Nice. Okay, 2818 Southwest 6th. Yeah. And historic Route 66, Amarillo's one and only record store. And this has been a long time coming. This place is gorgeous. We're gonna do some walkthroughs in a little bit, and kind of show you guys what you're missing. So how's it going?
It's going really well. Like I can't believe how well. I can't believe how well it's going. I was terrified to get started, and people have been amazing. Like I don't even have words for how incredible my customers are.
Dude, you're in the right business at the right place at the right point in time. This is perfect.
I agree.
Such a great method you got going on here.
I agree, man. Thank you so much.
So you were at the Nat, which is not the ballroom anymore. It's like Nat Antiques, I guess, now. And
yeah, the Nat Antiques inside the Natatorium, or the Nat, ballroom, the old Nat ballroom.
For you history buffs, Natatorium was an old term about 100 years ago for a place that you could go swimming.
It's true.
And I don't know why.
I don't. It's a fancy word, I think.
It is Natatorium.
Natatorium.
So you do vinyl, comic books, CDs, posters, T-shirts. You've got a crazy line of merch here, and this is something that Amarillo has desperately needed.
Right.
Like for a really fucking long time. Slater had that. He had a place up there the road for a while.
It was just down the road here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
record joint.
Yeah. I remember seeing. We saw the Toadies basically right in front of here.
Right.
On the middle of 6th Street, and that was one of his deals way back then. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal too. Like we could talk about that in a little bit, but definitely have some live music here.
Let's get 6th Street back.
Yes, absolutely. It's a huge part of what I want to do.
Make 6th Street cool again.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's not cool, but it could be cooler. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this little strip right here where I'm at is really cool, man. It's really high vibe. From the 806, then you come down and you've got the Roseberry, my very good neighbors right here, and then of course you've got Braceros. And then you've got Antiques, which is this crazy cool, curious. It's like, to me, if you walked through the wall in Harry Potter and the first thing you saw was a bookstore or something in that world or whatever. Like, I feel like that's what Antiques is. It's really, really cool. So it's super high vibe and super cool right here on this strip.
There's a lot of cool stuff to see. We've talked about Antiques before. I need to.
Cool.
We're gonna do a spot over there at some point.
Oh, very cool.
Angela is she's an interesting lady. She's got such an eye for the aesthetic in there. Is just crazy cool.
Absolutely.
And so and we'll get into that. Are you gonna be doing like any live events in here, or have you thought about it?
Kind of what I was when you started talking about the Toadies and everything. That's absolutely something that I'm going to be doing as, the weather kind of warms up and everything. I want to start having, live music events, bring your own vinyl events, album release events. There's a cool book that I got for my last birthday, which is like you pair this alcoholic beverage with this album.
Oh, nice.
Right. So I'm thinking about figuring out how to have a night where, like, I'll make a shit ton of, can I say that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. A shit ton of alcoholic beverages, and we'll listen to this album and pair it all together. And I just want it to be, well, you said it, let's get 6th Street. Well, back might indicate that it's not.
That's what I was saying. It is cool, but it could be cooler.
It could be way cooler.
Yeah.
Well, Amarillo as a whole could be cooler, and I think what's happening right now, you know, one of the reasons that I was apprehensive about moving over here and really getting this going was that, you know, people are like, are really, in this day and age, you're going to open a brick and mortar store? Like, you're going to go head to head with all of these big guys, you know, like Amazon and I was like, yeah, man, that's pretty spooky. But you know, I wanted to create a destination for people.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that as a feedback from the people that do come up here, whether they buy something or they don't. People are like, wow, this has got such a great vibe, and this is a destination, this is a place they want to come and hang out and sit here and
Everything's tangible.
Everything here is tangible. Everything is kind of old school. I don't have LCD TVs on every wall. You know, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know, I want it to feel like going back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but that is a solid point.
Dude, could you imagine just sitting here and drinking some 806 coffee and playing chess and asking me to play a record for you, to spin a record for you, and just sitting and chilling with somebody that you enjoy their company without being in front of a screen?
Something dissolving your eyeballs.
Right, man.
One photon at a time.
Right. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing work? This thing work?
This does not work. I've dumped a lot of money in this and I can't get it to work.
That's too bad, because this is a freaking cool piece of furniture.
And it sounded so cool when it did work, yeah.
I've got an old a Yamaha, like a really nice Yamaha wood sound, or wood, I can't remember, wood tone, something like that. Some nice record player in my garage, and it needs a belt. And I've got, you know, the one in the house is like it's on a servo, you know. So,
right on.
So, but the one in the garage is really nice, and I want to fix it. Put it in the studio. Sorry, digression.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I don't even know where to begin. So
yeah, what do you want to talk about?
So it was what, 5 years ago? You had kind of a booth over there.
Yeah. So,
you had other shit going on. You had other businesses and things, and you were.
Yeah, I had a lot of shit going on, and honestly, that was supposed to be just sort of like a hobby.
Yeah.
And a way to just generate a little bit of extra income, you know, to go on vacation or just whatever. And you know, as life does, life changes, and it became something that I needed as an income. Mm-hmm. And so I expanded over there several times and grew, you know, in the NAT you get a booth. It's, you know, X by X or whatever. And so I expanded into 3 of those up there on the 2nd floor. And I mean, the support was amazing. And I was able to kind of let them run the place, and all I had to do was stock it weekly. Just keep putting cool shit up there. And that allowed me to, you know, I was pretty much Mr. Mom during that time. You know, I was the one at home, you know, getting kids back and forth and you know, making dinner every night and just, you know, taking care of the shit at home.
Shout out to stay-at-home dads, man. That's a tough gig.
Well, it's a tough. I mean, you know, not in any kind of a sexist way, but for me, going from being, you know, I had a very successful computer business. It had I mean, at one point we had won every possible award that you could win in this area. 3 locations, dozens and dozens of employees, et cetera, et cetera. It was a big change for me to go from that to being Mr. Mom and staying at home. I mean, not necessarily an ego thing, but just switching that way of thinking. You know? getting home and taking care of things in that way. And I mean, shout out to stay-at-home moms, because it's a job that doesn't often get a lot of accolades or respect, and it's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times I would rather any day go to some place like an office and work for 10 or 12 hours than to deal with the crazy random shit that happens in your home.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you have kids.
Oh yeah.
And dogs.
That's how many kids you got?
I've got 4 kids.
4 kids. So that is chaos times 4.
Chaos times 4.
Yeah. But now you're Cool Record Store Dad.
Now I'm Cool Record Store Dad.
Yeah.
I still leave here and go home and cook dinner about 4 or 5 nights a week. And I still get the phone calls from the kids.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to juggle all of that. In the mornings, I get my youngest kid to school on school days. Try to get a workout in.
Yeah.
Shit, shower, shave, and get the fuck up here so I can open the place on time.
Yeah.
So
What are your hours?
we're 11 to 6 Monday through Friday and noon to 6 on Saturday, because I just cannot fucking get up.
Yeah,
earlier
no,
than
I can
that
dig
on
it.
Saturday.
I can dig it.
That's scary.
You need to open 7 days. We get Amber up here.
Well, she comes up here with me on
A lot of people on
Saturdays.
6th Street on Sundays, bro.
And I've got this really cool lady named Lucretia that helped me out when I went out of town to go see Elton John, and she's going to kind of be filling in like here and there for me. And her thought was, you ought to let me open the place up on Sundays and just see what happens. Because for me, I got to have like 1 day away from here.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I got to. I'll go. I mean, I love this place. It's not like a job.
Yeah.
But I work hard up here too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't just sit on my ass and spin records.
That's
I work
42.
hard.
That's like 50 hours a week.
Yeah, I'm in the 45 to 50 hour a week range.
Yeah.
And getting here early to open, sometimes staying late if customers are here late. So I got to have that day off. So I'm working on that right now.
You've seen a pretty wide gamut of folks, different styles of folks. I don't know how to explain this. Just all kinds of people coming in here checking this place out.
Absolutely,
I
dude.
assume. Oh yeah.
It's so awesome. I mean,
It's not just hipster kids. It's
no,
like, nothing against the hipster kids.
Right, we love you. I would say my biggest customer base is between 15 and 25.
No kidding.
Yeah, their parents bring them up here, and they are. You have to think about it. I was about a week and a half or so ago. I was really thinking about this. If you're in that age range, 15 to 25, you have never had the experience of having some kind of media in your hands. It has always been streaming.
Yeah.
You didn't have a VHS tape. You didn't have a DVD.
Yeah.
You didn't have a CD. You didn't have a cassette. You didn't have an 8-track. They'll come in here and look at I've got a little like museum going in one of my front windows up there. I don't know if you saw that when you came in. And their parents take the kids over there and they're like, "Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?" And they're like, "I have no idea." And they're like, "Well, that's an 8-track." And they're like, "A what? An 8-track?" But these people have never had it tangibly in their hands and felt like they had ownership with that particular item. It's all been on Netflix. It's all been on Spotify. It's all been on. Shout out to Spotify.
Shout out to Spotify.
It's all been digital, and this is a completely different experience for them.
I never thought about that, but that is a good point. That where music or video, movies, whatever, they just magically appear.
They're just in this box, or they're just in the television itself. Even video games, dude. My kids, my youngest anyway, for the majority of his video gaming life, he downloads his video games. He doesn't have to keep the disc clean and careful or blow on the stupid cartridge, even though it says don't blow on the cartridge of the video game and cram it back in the deal or whatever.
Spittle gets on there.
He never went through all of that. He just is like, "Hey, I'm gonna mow the lawn, Dad, for $50. Transfer it over to my." He has his own Visa card, and when he gets the $50 digitally, they don't even have cash in their hands right now, hardly.
You pay your kids $50 to mow the yard?
Yeah, dude. Oh, well, I'd pay some fucking asshole like probably twice that. I have a big yard.
Yeah. No, I've been to your place. Yeah.
Okay.
I just forgot about that.
But anyway, they just have never had that experience to have something like that in their hands, and now they're saving up and they're coming in here, and dude, they have the biggest fucking smile on their face when they come in here and find a record of a band that they love. They have the biggest fucking smile on their face all the way out the door. It's the best feeling in the world.
Especially since Hastings left, there's a big hole. There's a big hole of opportunity there.
I miss Hastings. I mean, it was a great place to just go if you had to kill a little bit of time and just browse around.
Yeah.
It was a great place. You know, it's like, oh shit, it's Tule's fucking birthday, man. We need to grab him a gift real quick because we've been working our ass off all week. Well, I guarantee we'll find something for him at Hastings. You run in there.
You know, between this place, so I did all my Christmas shopping and most of my birthday shopping I do at Antiques. And now I've got another place that I can do more of that. You know, right. I don't want to get this shit online. I don't want to go to Walmart. You know, right. I think the return of the mom and pop shop is going to be Americana resurgence that, you know, people need. You know, we've tasted the lack of intimacy. We've tasted how easy it is to get things digitally, and it's kind of cool if you're in a desperate situation, but I don't know.
Well, you know,
this is just so much better.
Here, my thought process is that Jeff Bezos doesn't need any more of our fucking money. He doesn't pay taxes anyway,
bro. Yeah.
But you know what? I am fucking guilty just like anyone else. You know, again, Amber and I are co-running our home while we're still working 45, 50 hours a week.
Right.
So if the kids are like, we don't have any tide to wash clothes, and we were just hollering at them to fucking clean their room and wash their clothes, right? Yeah. How do I make that happen? I get on fucking Amazon and I go, ship me some Tide. Yeah. ASAP.
Walmart delivery. You know.
I mean, what else can I do? My time is absolutely limited in that way. However,
there's a balance coming.
I think that people are really enjoying coming to a place like this or at Antiques, flipping through the book. Of course you can buy it online. Yeah. And they give you that little, like, you know, few pages that you can kind of preview or something like that if you're going to buy a book, let's just say. But there's something magical about having that in your hands and flipping, you know, because on page 45 there's that really cool fucking picture. Yeah. And you're like, you'd have never seen that. You're getting to experience that. You're like, yes, I want this. It's the same thing with albums, man. You get a gatefold album, you open that up, and you're looking at photos that may not even exist online of your favorite artist, you know? Liner notes.
Liner notes. I've got the crown jewel of my vinyl collection. Yeah. Is a 1985 Iron Maiden Live After Death.
Dude, same.
It's pristine.
And it's
got the book. It's got all the show notes.
Yes. It is so fucking amazing to open that up. I've got the exact same thing. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite records just for that reason. Yeah. You know? And I've never really done it, but I would guess that there's probably some photos in that gatefold album that they've never really put online. Yeah. There was no need to put them online.
Well, you know, in 1985 there was no online.
Right. But again, you know, we understand that transition, but a lot of my customer base, they just, you know, I don't know how, it's like being an old geezer and like, you drive around in a horseless carriage. Well, I remember when I used to have to clean up the shit from the horse as I drove him down the street. You kids are so lucky. I mean, you know, you're like, yeah, whatever, old dude. Yeah. But because they don't understand that transition. They don't understand just how fucking crazy it was to go from a living creature pulling you through town, you know, to operating this fucking car and honking this giant fucking horn or whatever. They just don't understand.
You know, that's how the as I understand it, it's a weird digression, but so you remember Cruisin' Polk, right?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, Cruisin' Polk started, I guess, in the 50s. It was
Yeah.
kind of well, it was a weird, someone figured out that there was an outdated law still on the books that you weren't supposed to have a horseless carriage down Polk Street.
Okay.
And that's how that, so they were being rebellious, they were driving their cars down Polk Street, breaking the law.
We were just trying to get laid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Revving hot rod. Oh, man, I was a terrible little Polk Street thug.
Were you?
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we probably crossed paths then.
Oh, absolutely. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
I bet it was brilliant, whatever it was. It's gone now, though. So, what do you got going on in the future for this? I mean, 7 weeks in, place looks absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
I honestly, I can't get over it. I've got some stuff in the in my studio that I might bequeath you just because it would look good up, somewhere if you're interested.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got some like autographed drum heads and things like
Oh,
that.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. What does the future hold? Well, right now, what I was missing with the situation with the Nat is that I didn't get to interact with my customers. So now
Yeah.
I've got 7 weeks of talking to people and listening to them going, it'd be really cool if you carried X, Y, or Z, or it'd be really cool if you had blah, 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 or I love these shirts, but, do you have any, of this particular band? And so I get to listen to them, and I get to tailor this place around them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Instead of just going, no, dude, you're gonna fucking wear this fuck racism shirt, and you're gonna like it.
Okay.
I can listen to them and go, oh, you want me to carry more Eminem t-shirts? Well, I'll fucking do that. I mean, I think a lot of businesses forget to listen to their customer base because they'll tell you, man, even without specifically asking you to order something or specifically saying, oh, I would be your customer if only you had this item. They'll just come in and they'll go, do you happen to have? And the more that you hear of that, the more you can be like, well, that's what I'm gonna fucking start doing.
That Queen poster is like really, really cool. Sorry,
Right?
it's like I'm listening to you. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a little distracted right now.
No, it's fine.
That's the thing, guys. There's so much to see here. Remember Mr. Peepers,
I do remember.
the dude at the flea market?
Yep.
He still. I think he's had some of the same shit on the wall. He's got that poster frame thing.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff's been in there for 20 years,
Yeah.
30 years. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy. I wonder if he's still around. I haven't
I don't
been
know.
there.
Someone was talking to me about him the other day also, and I don't
Yeah.
Isn't that weird though?
Yeah.
I haven't been to the flea market in a long time.
Yeah, neither. My fiance, shout out Miss Kit Kat. She goes to a little witchy store out there. I can't remember what it's called.
okay.
It used to be called Four Winds, but she gets incense and things like that.
Dude, when I was a kid, I needed my parents to take me to the mall because there was music stores and toy stores, and I needed them to take me to the flea market. Those were the only two
Yeah.
places in town that the arcade.
Yeah.
Or like a cool pizza place that had the arcade in it.
Yeah.
But other than that, you remember that?
Well, something just dawned on me. You've got the record store. I'm at an arcade. It's like we're regressing in a delightful way.
But in such a it's such a again, I think there's a lot of people that have never stood in front of a video game or a pinball machine
Yeah.
and operated it. It's always been a controller and a flat screen TV
Yeah.
for them. I mean, I'm guessing that under 21 they can't go up there to lit. But
No, that is correct.
Even at that, 21, I bet you that a lot of those people have never stood
I've
there.
had a lot of them tell me that they'll come in and they say, I've never played pinball before. I'm like, really, bro? You know, I'll give them some tokens.
We should definitely do some cross promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would probably do quite well, especially when I get people from out of town.
Yeah.
Who are like, you know, and my first inclination is if they're like, what do I do? I'm like, well, here's 6th Street. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, you know.
You know Marco and Beanie, I guess, don't you?
Say that again?
You know Marco and Beanie?
No.
They own.
Oh wait, yes I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
They would be down for something like that.
That'd be awesome.
That would be crazy.
Just you know, I think would be a good fit.
Get a poster made of it. I can put it up in the window.
Yeah, that'd
there.
be fun.
Yeah, dude, that would be rad.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I've got the poster board behind the counter there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the big logo on the front of the counter, and I get a lot of bands that come through here, and they're plastering their merch, you know, their bumper stickers or whatever on that front counter there.
Oh, nice.
Kind of a Sub Pop kind of. Did you ever see that front counter at Sub Pop?
Yeah.
That same kind of thing. I'll never forget seeing that. And there was a big sticker that said, "We hate your band," but I'm not gonna have that because I want to fucking love these guys. Because, I mean, I've been a musician the majority of my life. Started getting paid for it about 2008, 2009, and it's hard, man. It's hard to get people to even pay attention to you, much less come to your show or.
You're telling me about it, bro.
That's
why I started this whole thing.
Am I not informing you here? This is not new information, but
that's why I started this whole thing. You know?
So that was one thing I really wanted to incorporate here.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have live bands, you know, right back here, rearrange this furniture, do whatever I need to do to give them some space to play, or do something out front when the weather's really nice.
Yeah.
If that's not an option, I'm hanging up their show posters behind the counter. I'm letting them put their bumper stickers on the front counter. I mean, because I don't know if you still do the whole go around town and try to hang up show posters
I was
thing.
about to allude to that.
Were you really? Okay.
I'm probably the only one that still does.
I do it for my band.
I hit all the tattoo shops, you know, hit those places.
But there's so many places that don't let you or don't even. There's actually a coffee place here in town, not the 806. The 806 has always let me hang a shut, but there is a prominent coffee place that I won't name. They don't have any kind of a community board. There's no place for you to. I went in there and I was like, "Where can I hang this?" And the girl behind the counter was like,
"Hang what?
I don't.
What do you mean?"
No. Well, yeah, it's like a thing. You want to hang an actual physical thing up somewhere, and so she goes and talks to the manager. No, we don't have that. And I was like, does any of your locations? I don't think so. I mean, can I hang it up in the door? No, you can't do that. I'm like, so there's no place here for you to promote local, even though you're local? Got it. But that was just a small little bitch session, sorry. But there's a lot of places that just don't let you do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, dude, I would staple them to the telephone poles and tape them and just about every business would let you put them up, you know, unless it was a direct conflict or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's hard as fuck to find a place. Tattoo parlors are probably pretty much the only place that I've found that'll still do it. And there's some, like I said, the 806 is super supportive. They've got a little community board there.
There's have you heard of the Rock and Roll Coffee Shop? So you need to check this cat out.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am dead serious. It's over at 45th and Georgia. So that, you know, that shopping center, it's like way back. So,
dude, isn't that sucks?
Yeah.
That sounds like the place that I have to.
You need to check it out. He does like songwriter contests and stuff, and he has
What
like.
the fuck? Why have I never heard of this place?
I just LD Dunn, I believe. LD, if you're watching this, shout out to me because we're going to do a show at your place.
That is so frustrating because.
Well, he's still kind of new too, you know. I mean,
okay, well, still, though, you'd think in the age of technology. Well, here's what I think happens. I think all of these social media sites, they lump you into these categories, and everything you see gets filtered down through, you know, the hashtags that you've interacted with and the different people that you follow, and you only get this very specific amount of information. You think that you're seeing a wide variety of information, and really it's just being spoon-fed to you through this funnel.
Yeah.
And so
the algorithm.
The algorithm, dude. And so that's why I don't know of this fucking place, and that sucks.
Well, It's over at 45th and Georgia.
Got it.
So there's that shopping center back there. It's kind of far back. I can't remember what used to be in there. It's back in the corner. There's a little barber shop back there, a couple of like thrift stores and rock and roll coffee shop.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Not even that far from where you live.
No,
you
no, dude.
Shoot up hillside and around the corner.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
rock and roll coffee shop.
anyway, shout out rock and roll coffee shop.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about local band things. So
Okay.
you were also in a band called Plan B.
I am.
So tell me about the name.
Okay, well, the term Plan B was in existence before it was used for a pill.
Yes.
And so the guys, well, I'll back up. It hasn't even been quite a year ago. A guy that I used to play guitar, or I played bass, he was the guitar player, back in the 80s, hit me up and said, dude, I know that you've got your like solo project and all that you're doing. Because at the time I was just, acoustic guitar and singing my own originals with a few covers mixed in, on the patio at Joe Taco or whatever. He's like, I know you've got that going on, but I've got some really amazing players and we want to do 80s covers. And I was like, well, that interests me more than anything.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, and he said, there's not going to be any drama. I was like, okay, I'm interested. He's like, these guys are pros, like they're really, really good. And we want you to sing. We just don't know anybody that would be able to vocally sing a lot of these songs that we want to do and front the band the way that we think that you can.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I go
I
over
mean,
there.
look at this guy. He's wired for this.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
No, it is a compliment.
Yeah, okay. I think so. I think that I was born to be, I don't know. I'm making a living with music, whether I'm up here or whether I'm playing with my band. And that's the dream, dude.
That is the dream.
I mean, I'm
when are you guys going to play again?
April something at Whiskey River.
April something at Whiskey River?
Yeah, dude, I have it somewhere. Here, I can probably find that date for you. But that's the next show. Here, I just had sent. We're actually booked up through September.
Really?
Yeah.
Badass.
Well, I know. It's like as much as I used to hustle to get gigs doing my solo stuff, like this is a whole new thing because people are seeking
calling you.
Yeah, come out, we got to book you, we got to book you, we got to book you. And I'm like, wow.
What's that like?
What is that? Well, it's April 16th at Whiskey River, and then April 30th back at Scooters. May 13th, Craft on Polk. June 10th, back at Whiskey River. June 24th, back at Craft. July 23rd, Craft. August 6th, Craft. September 17th, Craft. And there's a lot of, we just played Marshall's last Friday. We're trying to figure out schedules with everyone because we all still actually have our day jobs. But we'll be back at Marshall's somewhere in here, and then back at Scooters also somewhere in here. So
nice.
it's going to be kind of a full.
It's okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so fortunate. I mean, I'm so grateful, dude. Like, I almost feel like I don't deserve what's happening to me in life right now.
You paid your dues.
Well,
well,
yeah, I have.
I mean, with all things considered, I mean, you've been out there, you've ran with the hyenas,
Well, and that was another close ego kind of thing. Like I said, going from the founder and CEO of a really big tech firm to Mr. Mom, going from hustling and trying to do my own music, my own original stuff, and get that out in the world, to being in a cover band. A lot of musicians kind of shit on cover bands.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been guilty of it. And we do a bunch of covers.
But, dude, I'm having a fucking blast, though. Dude, it is every time we play a show, it's a party. I've never gotten that many people out on the dance floor partying with me before.
Nice.
Well, first of all, it's 80s music.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
Right.
We may be the only band that's ever performed a Duran Duran cover at Scooter's the Biker Bar. You know what I mean? But they fucking lost their minds. They loved it. So I'm, again, just so grateful to the universe, and a bit taken aback by everything. It's all happened. Again, the band isn't even a full year. We haven't celebrated our first year yet.
Right.
So it's came together really quickly, and it seems to just be this kind of freight train that's just rolling right now. So, and I mean, I don't know what the future holds. You know, you're talking about the future for the record store.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what I want the future to look like, but you know, fuck, dude, the world. I mean, we're right on the edge of World War III right now. There may not be a future.
You know, we grew up in the Cold War, man, and it's all old hat, man. We're used to.
Yeah, it's not new for me,
Yeah.
but it's definitely, you know, one of those things that makes you stop and go. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to plan for the future, but counting on the future, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean that's.
All I've got is today, dude. All I've got is this
Man,
moment sitting here talking to you.
It's just like the water boards, like Coach Klein says, man. Just visualize and attack. Remember, guys, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, like and subscribe. That's how we continue to make these videos for you. Turn that little alert on, little dinger. I don't know where it's one around here somewhere on the screen. Anyway, thanks so much.